Ladies and gentlemen, let the exploration of yesterday, today, and future chance of DePIN begin. The stage is yours.
Hello. Nice to meet you, everyone. I'm Nguyen, Chief Growth at Infrix, the decentralized GPU network for 3D rendering and AI inference. And on the stage of DePIN today, we have Mr. Nguyen from Quickom and Mr. Andrew from IOTeX, the L1 for DePIN. So could you guys please introduce about yourself?
Hello everyone. Thank you for East Vietnam to put this event together. So my name is Williams. I'm a founder of Quickom. Quickom is a US patented decentralized video conference platforms. Basically, Quickom is just decentralized Zoom, right? So that's what Quickom is about.
Hi everyone, I'm Andrew. So I'm a research scientist at IOTeX. So IOTeX is leading modular infra for DePINs, try to accelerate the DePIN layers or Ethereum. So I think what we have been built in the past 7 years, we start with the blockchains and then we explore the Web3 hardware and try to connect that hardware into the middleware and try to empower more real-world applications. So I'm very excited to share what DePIN is and what are the real use cases that people are using today. Yep, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Well, after this section is Vitalik section about ZK, I think. But last 8 days in the Vitalik Forecaster webcast, he have a post about DePIN, and I read literally, what are the DePIN projects and the people think are most likely to actually work? It feels like the category is a new name for something that's been around for decades. Storage, various decentralized Ubers has never gotten off the ground. So what's the bull case for why it is going to get off the ground now? Please, Andrew, have comment?
Yeah, so I'm glad that Vitaly is aware of this DePIN narrative. So I think this DePIN is kind of like an imaginary narrative that, but before this, before DePIN was a narrative, I think a lot of builders are already in the space building real-world applications or protocols. So like what Vitalik mentioned is like we have the early stage of the storage protocols like Filecoin, Storage, and then what they do is try to connect the ideal resources in the real world and try to provide some services in the world surrounding us. So for me, like my book, my DePIN book thesis is DePIN is actually onboarding real users to the Web3 now. So it's happening surrounding us. So I'm the users of DePIN, so I can access a cheaper plans for my mobile. So it's actually like 5 times cheaper than my mainstream mobile plans. So it's something that I try, and I feel like this is something very eye-opening, and not many people know about this. And the second thing about why I'm bullish is that you actually can provide people-owned services. So this is something that we get to use that, or the wireless services is provided by a centralized entity or the big corp, but never realized that one day you can actually provide the Wi-Fi to your neighborhood, and you can become the owner of the networks, and then potentially you earn additional revenue stream for that services. So there's a lot of great projects already built on Ethereum, IOTeX, and Polygon. So and a third thing is like I think that DePIN is something real because like we never realized that in our everyday life we have so many idle resources. So if you have the phone, then you have a lot of bandwidth or like the compute power on your phone. So then you can earn something out of your smartphone compute to do a DePIN related services for that. So it's very eye-openings for, oh, you can still do your daily activities, and then you can earn additional reward from that. So I think this is something that is changing the landscape right now. Yeah, so that's why I'm very bullish about DePIN for now, and there's a lot of use cases that we can explore and expand into different industrial verticals. Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. William, your view?
I think for DePIN projects, to work, then you would have to have a strong demand for the service, right? You can have all kind of good idea, but no one buy it, no one need it. Then it will be hard to take off, because at the end of the day, the consumer, right? They have to benefit from the products, and they pay for it, and that's how you can sustain and roll up the DePIN, right? And that's how I view it, And in our case, we with a video conference platform, right? And then after COVID, the yield for the video meetings online is massively increased.
Right.
Yeah. And that's why we built this for a long time, and it's 10 years ago I saw this, right? Because the world will be flat, right? Very flat, and you don't need to see each other physically anymore. So I think video conference is how you can use that to exchange the knowledge, ideas, and everything remotely, and make human the better race, right? Globally, right? And then now people live longer. They retire at 65. Their mind still very fresh, very young. And they cannot just do nothing, right? So if we can connect that mind, right, and database, right, with the young people around the world through this.
Yeah.
I think that's how we started the Quickom.
Yeah.
And COVID has changed a lot.
Yeah. For anyone who don't know, DePIN is short for Decentralized Physical Infrastructure Network, which is a new term coined by Mesari in the early last year, right? And what I like about DePIN is real use case. It's not only like Web3 project for Web3 users, right? But here's Web3 for Web2 users. Everyone can use. So about the real use case, can you share a little bit, because you are L1 for DePIN, right? IOTeX. I think a lot of real use case project already deployed on IOTeX. Can you share about?
Yeah. DePIN is kind of like just to provide a brief background of what DePIN is and why DePIN now. So, as what Nguyen mentions, DePIN stands for Decentralized Physical Infra Networks. So, it's kind of like built in the intersection of real world and crypto. And then you use the token incentives to incentivize people to bootstrap the people-owned networks. And this people-owned network can be anything. So I can give a few examples. So I think one of them is wireless, so providing the Wi-Fi services. Even you can build a telecom services. You set out the radio stations that can provide mobile services, and this can be extended to a digital resources like the GPU. So I think the GPU is a hottest trend at the moment, that you see a lot of GPU marketplace, and then they try to pull in additional GPU resources to provide the compute resources to AI related applications. Yeah, so speaking about what use case that we see right now, so there's a lot of verticals that have this use case. So I have, in the past few years, I have been met and talked with more than 100 DePIN founders. So this is very interesting, because as infra providers, I get to work with different founders in different verticals. It's not only in the DeFi, which is very focused on financials, industrials, but in DePIN you can get to talk with people from teleconference, which is very specialized in two-way communications, and you get to work with GPU resources like InfraRich. So they are trying to provide a marketplace to meet the GPU and the rendering services. So I think this is a very good use case that the supply of the network can meet the demand in the real world. And eventually, this network is actually can generate the revenues. So I think that's the key in DePIN right now. A few others examples is that have I seen built on IOTeX. Another one is the VPNs. I think this project called Auto. So I think what they do is they try to provide a more decentralized routing solution to the world so that anyone can access browsers with a seamless experience. So there's a lot more use cases that we've seen coming out this year. And then very exciting to share them, or maybe you can connect with the builders in Asia. Yeah.
So for the real new case of Quickom, I think Quickom already invested by Vina Capital and already long time in Web 2, 4 years already, right? Now you want to use blockchain technology for Web 3. So could you share about your use case and how the Web 3 will power your Quickom network and application? Everyone here register for the event here. You got email from Quickom, right?
You know, I think this majority of people right now, I think vast majority of users still Web 2, right? So, you know, ask them for going to Web 3 is very hard, right? But again, you know, the way I view Web 3 is, you know, because it's a payment, right? So we run into this problem before, like 2016, we build the products, the same thing right now, but when we pay people remotely, right? You do PayPal, you know, then you have to pay a big fee, right? They take a lot of money and basically to make the business become not suitable anymore, you know, not viable anymore. So, you know, blockchain is a way that can give the transparency to the people involvement. For example, right now, if you share with me your bandwidth, you share with me your computers, right? I can tell you upfront, you know, how much bandwidth I use, right? How much CPU I use from your networks, and therefore I will compensate you, right? Without a blockchain, so I can have my own database. I use 10 gigabits of your networks, and I just say once, right? Nobody knows, right? So it's a blockchain. It gives the confidence, right? Confidence for people to participate in the service. They the one they provide the service, right? You know, so that we did a lot of that, right? And instead of paying Google Cloud and Amazon, we pay them, and for them to participate in, they have to know exactly how much we use from their resources. And blockchain gives that kind of confidence, you know, and that's what we build on, right? So, and I think it's a blockchain of payments. Yeah.
So payment means also incentive, right?
You know, it's a strictly payment, right? For example, right now because I mentioned earlier, for the service to be viable and to be scalable and to take off, right, you have to have supply of money. You have to have people who pay for the service, right? For our case, instead of we provide service to public to video conference platform services, and now instead of we take the money, we pay Google Cloud, we pay Amazon AWS, now we pay the people, right? So blockchain is a mechanism for us to pay people locally, you know, and still get the money, right? So, you know, that's how I view this, right? And you incentivize them, that's another layer.
Yeah.
But again, people still have to earn the money.
Mm-hmm.
Right, yeah.
Okay, interesting. And I think DePIN, you know, in Web3 project that we familiar with, DeFi, GameFi, NFT, is often nothing related to device, physical device. But in DePIN, we have physical device, right? Like in our GPU, decentralized GPU network, so our device GPU, right? And price of GPU is going up very fast now. So can you tell a little bit about the device in this DePIN industry and how the device connect and verification on blockchain like that?
Yes, this is very good questions. If you one thing that differentiates like DePIN with the others is like usually like physical infra involve hardware, and then this hardware is usually can be any form of real world wrap. So let's say if you want to collect measurements about the temperatures, so you need sensors to know about the temperatures surroundings, and then that device can, like measures the temperatures, and these measurements can be sent to the middleware to process the data. So, and then that data can be processed as a proof to show that that can be used on the blockchain for certain transactions. Maybe if you do the temperature measurements on the blockchain, I can issue you rewards or incentive for doing so, for contributing to the cloud source data sets. So, but if you look at these links, so I think this is one major challenge in DePIN. Why this didn't take off in the past few years is the verification part is very critical. Besides, how can I trust the data sent by these devices to the middleware, and this middleware process the proof is true. So this the trust issues off chains, and why people are using the blockchains as what Mr. Williams says is that blockchain is trustable sources. Everything is on chain, transparent. You can track the original source for that. But for DePIN, I think it's everything involved with the option. So that would be a verification issue for that. So that's why IOTeX is in the first day one. So we are trying to solve these verification problems to try to ensure that the TAT infra is mature enough so that the new builders or all the very talented builders, they can just use the existing infra to build the DePIN application they want. If we can solve this verification. Otherwise, I think these verification problems will lead to not trust issues, or like some bad actors try to game your tokenomics, try to become a bad, the CPU attack into your networks. So I think this is something that we trying to solve in the past few years, and we found we got a TAT to showcase that DePIN builders can use our TAT to build a DePIN application, or even a DePIN layer 2 on Ethereum easily in near futures. Yeah.
And in the kind of decentralized Zoom business, as you say, how your platform connect with the device, or device belong to who, and how you connect to empower your network?
In a Quickom case, right, we just release a software, right? You give a build software, you install your computers. Your computer must connect to the internet, right? So you have cable, plug it in, and our software running on your computers, very safe, right? And then whenever we have a need for open the rooms for conference, and then we channel the user to that computers, right? So the computer belongs to people, right? Your desktop from home, your laptop, desktop, whatever. Later on, we can put on a router, right? Routers and even a smart TV, is and it can help, host a room on that device, and that's it. It's very general. Well, the video conference is take a lot of energy, right? You can't put on the phone, right? It will suck all the energy out within like 30 minutes, right? We don't put on the phone. That's why we put on the Mac, Windows, Linux, even the Raspberry Pi. Raspberry Pi just like the proof of concept, right? So it's sometimes at home you turn off your computers, right? Your laptop you turn it off, and because of that, and we cannot use your computer, your bandwidth, so you don't want money. So instead, you can buy a Raspberry Pi, Linux, and then from us, you can from anywhere you install software, and with that, then you can run 24/7, right? You earn money, and that's exactly what Quickom's about, right? And then right now we work with a lot of like ISP. Think about this: every building, every apartment, every offices, that's a data center, right? They have a lot of bandwidth, right? Available bandwidth, and they can sell to us.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about the builder in DePINs. I think currently, as I saw, there are an ecosystem that support DePIN builder, especially I saw in Denver, right? So about IOTeX already have also ecosystem fund, you have also your code base and your partners. Can you tell a little bit more about ecosystem that support the DePIN, mentoring, incubate DePIN builders?
Yes, yes. I think for every blockchain ecosystems, I think the builders is a central piece. And for myself, I born in Southeast Asia, so I'm very bullish about like DePIN Asia thesis, because I think like we have a very vibrant developers community in Asia Pacific, especially I visit a lot of countries like Malaysia, Singapore, China, and now I'm here in Vietnam. So I'm very impressed about like the quality of like the crypto communities in Asia, because it surprised me. So we have these vibrant developers communities, and we also have a very good entrepreneur from Web2 companies like Mr. Williams and the others in the East. I think we are the expert in IoT stuff, so we manufacture the device, and I think these founders have a very deep expertise in what in their own industries. So I think what we at IOTeX is doing is that we try to find this team and then provide them with the Web3 support. So the resources from technical and non-technicals. So the technical is the modular infra that we have to help them to bootstrap the DePIN application without rebuild everything from scratch. So that's will save them they go to market time. Because now a typical DePIN project, if you want to launch, start to build in 2 days, probably you will take 1 or 2 years. It's not like DeFi, you can just launch a smart contract tokens in less than 20 seconds on Ethereum or any blockchains. So the test step for the DePIN is slightly different. It's slightly complex because it involves the hardware, middleware, tokens, and a blockchain. So it's require more sophisticated test step for them to build. So we are here to help them on that resources. And then for non-technicals, I found one thing that I also among the DePIN founders is that they are very good in where to like the real world application, but they might not realize that token is also part of the products. It's kind of a byproduct. One is the protocols and the other is tokens. And then for the tokens, there's a lot of insight or like you have to manage like your token liquidities, and then there's that token design. How can you incentivize all parties in your networks in aligned interest manners? Otherwise, if you have a good product but without a proper tokenomics design, that will actually will prevent you to get to the mass adoption for that. So I think it's so in this non-technical side, we have a expert teams from the ventures, from the researchers. So we provide them the tokenomics advice, and also like helping to boost and post project lines in terms of like liquidity chart. So I think all we want to help them is that to make DePIN's project lines as easy as possible, and it's for anyone and for everyone who has ideas, and they can just execute that easily with our ecosystems support.
Yeah, but as a DePIN builder, Mr. William himself, so besides the funding, right, what do you need in the ecosystem to support you to succeed?
You know, for Quickom, right, most of our business came from Web2, right? We have a big event company, you know, governments, right? The big organization, instead of using Zoom, they cannot control the data, video data. Now, many companies like pharmaceutical and, you know, design company, they want to keep their meeting private, right? And, you know, they did their own software, you know, to run this. And then mostly just our business from those companies, right? They pay for the service, they pay for software, you know, and you know, it's in terms of community, right? So when we deploy the DePIN project, right now we still work with like data centers around the world and different ISP. But when we work like we deploy DePIN project later this year, then you know, it's you know, it will benefit everyone, right? Because basically, your internet at home, you know, your upload bandwidth you throw it away. Nothing you can do about that, right? Instead of that you just let us use your upload bandwidth, and you earn the money. You can use the money to pay back, your internet fee, right? So and I think we need that kind of participation, right, from communities, and that's what we're gonna do, right?
But now the main users now is in Vietnam and the US, right? So I think in terms of user growth, like how an ecosystem can support you have more user, mean more revenue, right?
Yeah. Quickom, so we came out in the presence of Zoom, Google Meet, Microsoft Teams, right? So we, from business point of view, we don't go into the meeting business, right? We go in conferences, right? Because we are truly decentralized Zoom. Because of that thing, we can have one meeting room, we can have like 10,000 users in the same room. Right? That's the key. And because of that, our strength, and then we build our business on that strength by going to conference business. For example, Ethereum Vietnam is on Quickom, right? And so you can bring this on-site event online, and we get money for that, and that's our business direction. And it's in country like Vietnam, for example, right, during the time like peak hours, like at 7 p.m. every day, the international bandwidth get slowed down, and people now can use Quickom, right? Because Quickom is a local bandwidth, so it gives you much better video and audio quality, and that's how we expand users. When we expand users through our business, right? They use it, people use it, people see it, and then one day they're stuck, right? And then just like during COVID, everybody use Zoom. You have no other choice, right? You have to, right? Yeah. So that's still our strategy, right?
Yeah, I love those disruption. I think many use case of DePIN is about disruption, right? And earlier today, Vitalik talked about AI, right? And I think DePIN and AI also have some kind of cooperate with each other, because several big projects raise big fund in AI relating to the DePIN, like Insight and others, right? So what do you think the mixing of DePIN and AI? And from Mr. William, what do you think about AI in the business related to DePIN? Maybe Andrew can go first.
Yeah, I can take these questions. Before I was like in blockchain, I also like use like the AI in my PhD research. So that's why I feel like the AI and crypto could be a very interesting use case. But I agree with Vitalis that this narrative alone doesn't carry blockchain forwards. So what we see is crypto and AI can do is like I think in crypto we can use the incentive models to spin out use the DePIN approach to spin out a few like projects to support AI. So I think for AI, it's like they actually it's like if you break down the AI, it's like it's require the data and require the compute and lastly require a models. So if you can break this into three, and then you can see like there's a crypto AI's flavor into the data. So you can actually use like the token models to incentivize people to contribute the long tail data sets in the real world that couldn't be collected before. And so that data can be collected and can be empowered to the AI models to make the AI model more intelligent, more predictive, more powerful. And then the second for the compute. So if you realize that for the training models, definitely this will require a very large compute resources. And now this is kind of held by a few big companies. So how about like the small project or small style, they want the GPU resources. So I think that's where the GPU, DePIN GPU coming in to provide these alternative options that is cheaper, that is decentralized, and that is available for anyone who want to use this. So I think this is something that can be provide an alternate solution to existing centralized compute marketplace. And then for the last one, the models. So as we all know that OpenAI, I think the original vision is try to provide open models that anyone can innovate. So, but it seems that it's a closed model. So I think what we see in the crypto space is that we try to advocate for open AI models that everyone can build on top, or at least you can contribute your AI model that you probably somebody can benefit from that, and then with the incentive model for that, yeah.
Okay. How about AI with Quickom, and what do you your view on that?
You know, for DePIN, right? So we will talk about AI basically because AI now you need GPU to train a model. Because most of AI right now is the open source, right? And for example, OpenAI, you know, the biggest cost is training data, right? You have to train them the data so that they can learn, you know, from that. It costs a lot of money, CPU power, you know, and then DePIN, you know, you use people computer like your case. You know, you render the image, but you can use the same GPU to train the model, right? For example, I have a friend.
We use GPU for AI inference.
Yeah. So
training.
Yeah, you can use your GPU for different purpose. In this case, basically, it's a train the model, right? You train it so that you get out your data that you can use it for prediction, right? And that commonly right now is AI in DePINs, right? And in our Quickom, right? So we have capacity to manage a million of devices in real time. Right? For example, right, we have a conference rooms, and suddenly people turn off the computers, right? We have to know right away, within 1 second, when to switch whoever connect to that computer, go to different node and networks, right? So they can reestablish the video conference. We can just stop, right? So that's why we have to have a very powerful AI system to learn about the behavior of the server or computer provider, and then bandwidth, and then the time during bandwidth, all kind of thing. It's a lot of data. Right? AI is a big data. I think it's a very similar concept. Depending how you look at it. Right? Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. I think just wrap it up, and I just say that if you read about A16Z, about DePIN, Monty Coy about DePIN, the narrative is pretty strong now, and I hope that we. With this session, we'll make more awareness about DePIN, and and thank you everyone. Thank you Andrew. Thank you Mr. William for this session. Thank you.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you, three amazing panelists for the panel discussion today, and looking forward to seeing more amazing things happening with DePIN in the near future.